Ooh, man, poor guy. What is going on, guys? And today I actually get to represent some irony by bringing an outdoor channel inside. Now, like I said before, it's going to be raining for the next 5 to 6 days. So I decided to actually make a little interesting video indoors for you guys about my plans for the upcoming week. Today, I'm actually going to be unboxing my first ever and brand new bait casting reel setup by Shimano. Then I'm actually going to be unboxing a Googan Squad Mystery Catch Co box for bass fishing. Now, all of this is going to be by a beginner for beginners. Next, I'm going to get into the fun stuff. So I'm going to unbox this Baitcaster that I got. And yeah, I got to take off my address and stuff like that first, and then let's go through it. So, rip it right off the top because that's where it is. So, Amazon box in a box, as always. We're going to go through today, which is my first ever bait casting reel. It's going to be my first one. This is what I'm going to learn on. This is the one we're going to go through the journey together. How to use a bait caster. This is the Shimano Curado DC 150. Okay. A lot of good things about this. Yes, it's on the pricier end of things, and from what I've heard, you could get a $100 reel and it'd be fine, but I've heard a lot of good things about this. Did a lot of research first. There is so many options. As a person, okay, so as a person who doesn't know much about this stuff and is kind of self-teaching, doing all the research by myself, stuff like that, because not a lot of my friends are, you know, big fishermen. If they are, it's salt water around where I live. Nobody really cares for fresh water, at least out of my friend group. So being self-taught, when you're doing a lot of research on Amazon or Google or YouTube, whatever, there's so many different numbers and letters to these different model types and things, and it is pretty hard to figure out like what the slight difference are. And I don't even know, honestly. Like, let me even look up, see if I go to I go to Google Shimano bait casting reel, see what happens, right? Let's go over Shimano as just an example, right? So you have the Curado K, right? All of these other ones. Let's see for just Curado as it is. There's the Curado K again, Curado 300K, Curado 200K, DC 151 Curado. Wait, so what is the difference between XG, 151 HD? I have the 150. What? Here's my point, right? Here's the one I got. The 150 HD. What is the difference between the 150 and the 151, you might ask? I don't know. I feel like that's a whole other thing to look up. Here you go. It's the difference. Boom. For somebody who's self-taught and teaching himself. Well, let's look at the important things. So it looks like the only difference that I see is gear ratio. Now, basically what that means in a person who, again, is self-taught, so I don't actually know, but luckily being pretty technical, it's kind of obvious that it just means how much you reel to how much actually is being reeled, I guess is the way to say it. So basically think about it as, you know, your car has a foot pedal, right? And the harder you hit it, the faster you go. Now the car that you're in is going to go faster or slower depending on the kind of car that you're driving, right? So you're in a 4-cylinder Honda, you slam on that gas, it's going to go, you know, as fast as a Honda does. And then if you're in a Ferrari, it's going to go a lot faster. That's basically kind of what they're saying here, in a way. But my comparison is probably a lot bigger of a spectrum than these if I were to guess. And I don't know what the difference in price is, really. Let's see. Because depending on what you're doing is how fast you want to reel between all of the different types of lures and stuff like that that you use. Again, this is coming from a person who is self-taught, learning everything by himself, so I could be wrong, but it seems kind of common sense. Let's see, what was the fastest reel? Let's see the fastest. Curado 151X. Yeah, they're all the same price. Okay. So just really have preference, it looks like. But again, if you go back to it, there is here's just proving my point. Just that one model that I was getting, there's like six different kinds, I think is what it was. And there's so many others. Like, it was just a really hard choice to figure out what the differences were. Like, there's nothing that really compares and contrasts everything. Like, how are these two frequently bought together? Why are people buying two of them at the same time? Amazon just trying to make money? Probably. But I don't know. I know people have a bunch of different setups and they kind of, in my opinion, go a little overkill. Like, I could probably use most things and get it to still work and catch bass all the same. Bass to me aren't dolphins or monkeys. They may be smart and have good instincts, but I highly doubt they're going to know the difference between your $100 reel and your $500 reel that's slightly more sensitive. That's my opinion though. I could be wrong, and some hardcore fishermen are probably going to roast me in the comments if they end up watching this. That's fine with me. This again is coming from a self-taught person who doesn't really care to be the most try-hard fisherman in the world. I just go out there to go have fun. But like I said, the amount of reels in here is just overwhelming, and to kind of figure out what the difference was between everything. So I'm not gonna lie, when I was picking mine out, I kind of just went for like one of the more frequently bought ones, and that has really good ratings and seemed like it'd be pretty beginner friendly, which I would say the DC models are. Because basically what that means is digitally controlled, from what I'm able to figure out. Basically the whole braking system is digitized. It kind of has this unique sound from what I've seen from when you cast it that people like, and it's probably the main reason, honestly, why I started looking into it in the first place. I saw other videos on it and I'm like, sure, yeah, it sounds cool, you got me. And not to mention the whole thing about it sounding super beginner friendly was appealing if I'd spent a little extra money. So, you know, and I'm going to be comparing it to another expensive Shimano spinning reel, so might as well just do them both pretty expensive. Because my spinning reel is, see if I can find it. Going back and looking up my older spinning reel, it's a little bit of a price gap. It was probably 80 when I got it, to be honest with you, because this was a couple years ago. But it's going to be a little bit of a price gap because the one that I have is about, the Baitcaster is about 3 times as expensive as this was when it was brand new. So there'll probably be a little bit of a difference regarding that when comparing the two. Until the YouTube becomes more popular, I don't really have the money to go spend an exact 1-to-1 of spinning to bait casting. I'm kind of just working with what I got. So now, I've been kind of procrastinating doing this because I'm a little anxious, because these things apparently, bait casting seems kind of intimidating, but I don't know. That's what I see the large majority of people using. I know some people favor spinning reels, but I don't know. This looked more up my type of alley, so see how it goes. And remember, this is coming from somebody who, I mean, I probably said it enough, so at this point I'm really just beating a dead horse. I'm just a guy who goes out to fish to have fun. I like learning little bits and pieces, but the large majority of everything, like when I learn anything, I like figuring it out for myself. I like making my own mistakes, and I like going from there. As long as I'm not wasting money when I'm doing it. Next, let's get into it. Oh man, already is looking like a novel. Wow. That is an intense parts list. Okay, well, here's to hoping. Look, man. Here's to hoping that doesn't fall apart. I never really read owner's manuals, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I really care for all the parts. Next part. The actual rod. And there is nothing like the feeling when you grab a rod. You know, the worst part is it's not even a rod. When you grab a reel for the first time, because I've never held a bait casting reel. This is the first one I've ever even held in my hand. Looks good though. Super good. This is gonna sound so stupid, and I know nobody cares, but I swear they put those little tiny stickers on to just mess with people. Why would you need these on here? What is the point of these, and why do you make them impossible to take off? Well, actually, okay, that was easy. The two most important things that I know about this are the cast control knobs, and I've been able to figure out, and the brakes. Right here. I don't know why you would you need to necessarily open. If you turn your brakes and you flip them to open, which is the very front setting. How do you even get this in? Is it open? Something just tells me I shouldn't really do this, but well, anyways. So I don't know if I really care or it breaks while I'm doing this, but first impressions from a guy. I'm just gonna start saying it. From an average Joe, a guy who just fishes for fun. Thing looks sick and it feels great. Not all I got. Pretty lightweight, seems like it'll be pretty easy to use, and yeah, I can't wait to come back to this later when I'm teaching myself how to use it and getting bird's dust and driving myself insane. Let's find out. The line that I'm going to be putting on is overkill, but I have 150 yards of what I know is 100% overkill 40-pound test line. Power Pro. Normally, what I do have, I even have it next to me to just show you guys, is I'd use monofilament, 12-pound, 300 yards. This would be enough, more than enough probably. But yeah, it'd be good for freshwater. But I want to use braided on this, and I know 40-pound is overkill, probably more than I'll ever need freshwater fishing. But what I have right now, and I had other fishing line coming, braided, and it's super delayed because UPS is awesome. But I'll just use this as it's fine. That's what I have right now. Now that we have it all set up, it should be easy enough. Just go ahead and we're going to grab the line here. Apparently, what it looks like, Shimano makes it pretty easy where you stick it through. Obviously, there's the feeding hole right in the front right there, right? So this is going to help it go evenly throughout the actual spool. And then grab it so it's in your hand. And they're actually going to make your life easier where inside there's a nice little hole that you can stick it through just a little bit, and yeah, it'll take it around one full time for you. Took an Allen wrench and I actually, can you see it here? No, I actually stuck it in a crack of my V desk right here. I'm just gonna put the line right on it and then just make sure I'm holding pressure this whole time. One thing I almost forgot before you do this, when you're reeling it, make sure that you're holding tension on the actual line as it's coming in, because you don't want it to be loose. I'm sure that it's probably better if you hold tension, like more tension than what I'm doing, but I don't have setups like everybody else does, and I'm sure it's fine. Again, another thing people are gonna roast me for, but one of those things where, man, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure you don't need to go extra with it, you know? Anyways, you want to keep going. You get about 1/8 of an inch left, so closing in on it. Okay, now that I have all of the line on there, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. It's always good to have fishing scissors. Yeah, they look like childhood scissors. They probably are. They might be a little sharper, to be honest, in my opinion, because I just got this in a Guggen Squad set because it came in that. With needle nose pliers, so I don't have to ruin my electrical ones. And then there's actually a scale that I have in my car for weighing a small bass or whatever I catch. Now the next step would be to go throw it on a rod and yeah, go check it out. So I'll go show you guys the rod that I'm gonna put it on. Now, don't roast me. I know there's certain types of everything. Long story, different types of rods, casting rods, blah blah blah. I got this a long time ago before I knew any of these things. It's still a good rod, but I'm not really sure all the information on it, if it matches, whatever, but it should still be good, so we'll go see. I'll go show you guys it. A little dirty since the last time I used it. Oh look, my nice clean working boat. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to go check it out, link in the description below. It's actually unfortunate because it's a cold, damp day. It's not raining anymore, but I don't know if you can really tell by looking around. It poured earlier, and now we're just literally getting a break, which is why I can come outside and do this. So anyways, we have the St. Croix Mojo Bass, medium heavy. So I mean, medium heavy is not bad. That's actually kind of what I was going for, so I'm glad. I haven't looked at this thing in a while because once I figured out that it was for Baitcaster, I never used it again, really. Let's make sure, oh, I forgot to say this earlier too. One of the more important things is actually the drag, which is right here. Tomorrow's probably gonna be a lot better today. That'll probably be the day that I go out and go test this. And for that, for the first time ever testing a Baitcaster, from what I've heard, the heavier stuff is better. So we're gonna go for a good old Guggen Squad spinner bait. The two things that I've learned from watching videos is, one, make sure you adjust this when you go side to side and you don't feel it moving around too much when you're new. and you're trying it out, which this will be the first time I ever cast with it later, so let's see. That's pretty slow. I'm gonna put it at 4 to try it in the future. That seems better, ironically. Oh, that seems better. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. So first thoughts towards over spinning reels, it just feels better. It does. It just feels better to hold. I don't even care what anybody says, especially the jokes that are gonna be made from what I just said. But it does. It feels right. With all of that, that is my new first bait casting reel ever. So make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss the video where I get to try it out and teach myself. And now the sadly going to be its own video, mystery tackle box unboxing. I'll probably put it in with the video of me first time going out with the Baitcaster. I'll see. But this ended up being longer and not too much I really wanted to cut out. So we're going to move on the bait and tackle on its own. With that being said, make sure you guys like and comment below any ideas, anything like that you guys want me to do next. And I'll see you in the next one.